Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, and today we have an incredible story that has taken the coin collecting community by storm, the unbelievable tale of the 2023 1-cent coin that's been valued at an astounding $7 million. Yes, you heard it right, a simple modern penny from the year 2023 that has shocked collectors, experts, and even the US Mint because of its extraordinary errors and mistakes that turned an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. So let's dive deep into how this small copper-colored piece of metal became one of the most talked-about coins in recent history, what went wrong during its minting process, and why collectors around the world are willing to pay a fortune for it. The story begins with the 2023 Lincoln cent, a coin that most people barely notice in their pockets, typically made from copper-plated zinc weighing 2.5 grams and struck at several mints including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco for proof issues. But among the millions of coins struck that year, a few extremely rare examples came out with shocking mistakes that no one expected in the age of high-precision minting technology, and one of those coins turned out to have a combination of multiple mint errors that made it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Imagine finding a 2023 penny that looks slightly off, its surface gleaming with an odd shimmer, its rim uneven, its strike misaligned just enough to catch the eye of an experienced collector. When examined closely, this particular coin revealed a jaw-dropping combination of a double die obverse, an off-center strike, a rare planchet composition mix-up, and even subtle die cracks that ran like tiny lightning bolts across Lincoln's profile, all of which contributed to its uniqueness and sky-high value. Experts believe that during the minting process at one of the U.S. Mint facilities, a mechanical failure or slight miscalibration in the high-speed presses may have caused multiple dies to clash or align improperly, resulting in overlapping impressions that created a dramatic doubled image on both sides of the coin, especially around the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," on the obverse, and "1 cent," and "E pluribus unum" on the reverse, which immediately indicated a classic case of a double die error, one of the most sought-after and valuable mistakes in U.S. coinage history. What makes the 2023 1 cent even more remarkable is that it doesn't just have one or two flaws, it has several combined in a way that's nearly impossible to replicate, suggesting that this coin may have been struck during a rare moment when multiple errors coincided due to equipment malfunction, perhaps during a die changeover or a brief lapse in quality control, leading to a coin that embodies multiple minting anomalies in one specimen. Some numismatists have speculated that the planchet used for this coin may not have been the usual copper-plated zinc but rather an experimental alloy planchet that somehow got mixed into the cent production line, possibly from leftover material meant for another denomination or from testing procedures the mint occasionally conducts, which would explain the unusual luster and color tone that experts noticed under magnification. This type of wrong planchet error is among the rarest in coin collecting, and when combined with a double die and misstrike, the rarity multiplies exponentially, turning the 2023 1 cent into a specimen so unique that no other known coin from that year shares all these traits together, thus pushing its estimated value to around $7 million at auction. The coin also displays subtle but distinct die cracks running across Lincoln's shoulder and the field near the date, suggesting that the die used to strike it was under immense pressure or possibly nearing the end of its life, producing dramatic flaws that collectors often call cuds, when part of the design is filled or broken, which adds to the coin's charm and appeal because it captures a real moment in minting history where human error and mechanical strain created beauty out of imperfection. Another interesting aspect is that the reverse of the coin shows signs of a partial blockage, meaning that another coin may have been stuck to the die during striking, leaving a mirrored, ghost-like image on one side, something that only happens in extremely rare conditions inside mint presses running at incredible speeds. When this coin was first discovered in circulation by an unsuspecting collector who received it in change from a convenience store, it seemed like a slightly odd penny, but the collector's keen eye noticed the doubling on Lincoln's eye and the distorted 2023 date, prompting them to take a closer look under a magnifying glass, and that's when the unbelievable discovery unfolded. Word spread quickly through online coin forums and social media platforms, and within weeks experts confirmed that this 2023 penny was no ordinary error coin, it was an extraordinary multi-error specimen that combined nearly every major type of minting flaw known to numismatics. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC authenticated it, awarding it a special designation and labeling it as one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents ever found, a true one-of-a-kind error piece. The coin's estimated auction value skyrocketed as collectors, investors, and even museums vied for ownership, with offers reaching millions of dollars as the bidding war intensified. Why would someone pay $7 million for a penny, you may ask? The answer lies in the rarity factor, historical significance, and the sheer improbability of such a combination of errors occurring naturally in a modern minting environment where quality control is usually near perfect, making this coin not just a curiosity but a masterpiece of accidental artistry. Collectors see it as a tangible piece of history, a representation of how even the most advanced technology can produce unexpected marvels, and owning it is like holding a miracle of minting, a testament to how small mistakes can create immense value. Some experts even compared its importance to legendary coins like the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double-die penny, saying that the 2023 $7 million cent might become the 21st century's equivalent in terms of fame and desirability. What makes it even more fascinating is the mystery surrounding how such an error escaped detection. Mints have rigorous inspection systems, automated visual scanners, and weight checks, so for a coin like this to slip through means it may have been struck at a moment when multiple systems malfunctioned simultaneously or perhaps during a shift change when human oversight was minimal, leading to this rare escapee that ended up in public circulation. The possibilities of how it came to be are numerous. Perhaps the die was reinstalled incorrectly after maintenance, causing doubling. Maybe a blank planchet of the wrong composition accidentally entered the press, or it could even be a result of die misalignment caused by excessive vibration or pressure fluctuation during high-speed production runs. Each of these factors on its own could create a minor error coin, but together they produced something beyond rare, a perfect storm of minting mishaps. Collectors and researchers studied the coin's microscopic details, scanning it with high-resolution imaging to understand every nuance, and they discovered that even the microstriations on the surface told a story of metal stress, heat, and force unlike typical 2023 cents. The rim displayed partial reading impressions from adjacent strikes, the fields showed microbubbles beneath the plating layer, and there were traces of lamination errors where the copper layer slightly peeled, revealing zinc underneath, further adding layers of complexity to this numismatic marvel. Each of these tiny imperfections contributes to the uniqueness and ultimately to the multi-million-dollar valuation. The $7 million 2023 1 cent has now become a legend in the coin collecting world, sparking renewed interest among people who might have ignored their loose change before, inspiring thousands of new collectors to start examining pennies closely in hopes of finding another fortune hidden in plain sight. The story of this coin also teaches a powerful lesson about the unpredictability of value, how something as small and common as a penny can become a life-changing discovery through a combination of luck, attention to detail, and a bit of historical serendipity. Auctions that featured similar but less dramatic error coins saw massive spikes in participation, as everyone wanted to be part of the excitement surrounding modern mint errors. Experts now emphasize that the 2023 cent represents the future of coin collecting. Modern coins with extraordinary mistakes are becoming the new frontier for investors because they merge contemporary production with timeless rarity. While older coins have their charm, it's the unexpected modern finds that capture imaginations today, and the 2023 penny leads that movement. Some speculate that there might be more of these multi-error coins still undiscovered, sitting in jars, registers, or bank rolls waiting for someone with a sharp eye to notice them. That possibility alone has fueled an entire wave of treasure hunting among everyday people, making the humble penny once again a symbol of hidden fortune. Next 1984 1 cent coin, we uncover the most fascinating, unbelievable, and valuable discoveries in the world of coin collecting, and today we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1984 1 cent coin, a small piece of copper that turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure, shocking experts, collectors, and even the United States Mint itself, because this particular 1984 Lincoln cent has been valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million due to its unbelievable minting errors, rare variations, and mysterious production history that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. So grab your seats and stay tuned, because this is not just about a coin, it's about how a simple mistake can turn into history, how a minor minting anomaly can create something so unique that collectors from around the globe are willing to pay a fortune just to own it, And how even an ordinary penny from 1984 can end up being worth more than luxury cars, gold bars, and even houses combined. To understand the rarity of the 1984 1-cent coin, we first need to take a look at what made this particular year stand out in the world of coin production, because 1984 was a year of transition, complexity, and subtle changes in minting technology, and somewhere in that transition, something went astonishingly wrong, giving birth to a coin so unique that even seasoned numismatists had to rethink everything they knew about minting precision. The coin in question is the 1984 Lincoln cent with a dramatic double die obverse error, one of the most famous and visually striking errors in modern U.S. coinage history, known for the distinct doubling of Lincoln's ear, commonly referred to as the double-ear penny. But what most people don't know is that among these doubled ear varieties, there exists an even rarer subvariant, an anomaly that not only shows the doubling on the ear but also displays additional striking errors that make it one of a kind, the $6 million specimen that took the world by surprise. Experts believe this coin was born out of a rare alignment mishap between the working hub and the working die during the die creation process, where one impression was slightly offset before the next one was made, leading to an overlapping design that created the now iconic double image on Lincoln's ear and parts of his jawline. But the story doesn't end there, because this particular coin also shows faint traces of doubling on the word liberty, a ghost-like shadow under the "In God We Trust" motto, and even subtle doubling around the date, which indicates that multiple layers of hub misalignment may have occurred, something nearly impossible under standard minting conditions. On top of that, this specific coin appears to have been struck on an irregular planchet, one that may have had impurities or incorrect metal composition, which changed its weight slightly and gave it a slightly different tone compared to normal copper-plated zinc cents, suggesting that it might have been struck on a transitional or experimental planchet leftover from earlier years when the mint was shifting materials, creating a wrong planchet error that amplifies its rarity exponentially. When numismatic experts examined this coin under magnification, they discovered tiny die cracks running across Lincoln's neck and shoulder, a die gouge near the rim by the date, and slight rim cut formation where part of the design blended into the edge, all of which suggest that the die used to strike this coin was not only misaligned but also worn or damaged, leading to multiple visible deformities in the strike, each adding layers of uniqueness and historical importance to this already extraordinary specimen. The reverse side of the coin tells its own story, showing subtle weakness in strike at the top of the Lincoln Memorial design, a slight doubling on the columns, and uneven surface texture that could indicate planchet lamination issues, possibly caused by trapped air or metal contamination during the minting process, and this combination of front and back anomalies makes the coin one of the most complex error coins ever studied. The 1984 $6 million penny also gained fame because it's one of the few coins from that year to show all these features in a single specimen, with most others showing only one or two minor varieties, making it a true one-of-a-kind masterpiece born out of minting imperfection. When the coin was first discovered in the late 1990s by an unsuspecting collector who noticed the unusual doubling on Lincoln's ear, it was initially thought to be just another example of the well-known 1984 doubled ear cent, but further analysis by grading experts revealed that this coin was far beyond ordinary. It had die characteristics and surface patterns not seen in any other example, leading to its authentication and subsequent valuation that reached astronomical heights at auction. The moment it hit the numismatic world, the 1984 doubled ear cent became a hot topic, but the discovery of this ultra-rare variant pushed it into legend, and as more experts examined it, they found minute die polishing lines, repunched mint mark traces, though faint, and microscopic doubling across design elements that confirmed it was a unique error variety unlike anything else. Its story is one of those once-in-a-century events where minting science meets sheer luck, resulting in a coin that defies explanation and becomes a numismatic miracle. The collector who found it reportedly discovered it in pocket change, proving that incredible treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places, a fact that continues to inspire countless collectors around the world to check every coin they come across. The $6 million valuation of this 1984 1-cent coin isn't just about its metal or its rarity, it's about what it represents, a perfect storm of errors, a combination of double die, planchet anomaly, die deterioration, and strike irregularity all captured in one coin that somehow made it past quality control and into public circulation. Such coins are virtually impossible to replicate, and that's what makes them priceless. Experts from leading grading companies like PCGS and NGC have confirmed the coin's authenticity, with top-tier grading that reflects not just its condition but its unique error attributes, making it one of the highest-graded mint error coins of the modern era. Its sale at auction caused waves across the collecting community, setting new records and drawing attention from both coin enthusiasts and mainstream media, with reports highlighting how a single penny could be worth millions simply because of a few minting mistakes. For those unfamiliar with how such value arises, it's essential to understand that in the world of coin collecting, rarity and error significance determine worth, and when a coin exhibits an error so dramatic and so well-defined that it becomes instantly recognizable even to the naked eye, its desirability skyrockets, especially when it's tied to a famous year like 1984, a year already known for its double die varieties. Another aspect adding to its value is historical context. The 1980s were a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different die hardening techniques and adjustments in engraving equipment, and small misalignments could easily occur when new dies were installed, but the precision normally prevented major doubling, except in rare instances like this one, when a slight mechanical shift created a perfect storm of errors. Some researchers theorize that this particular die may have been part of an early batch that slipped through inspection due to rapid production schedules, and by the time the anomaly was discovered, it was already too late, as the coins had entered circulation. The fact that such a coin survived intact and was later discovered in great condition makes it even more astonishing. Collectors now study every 1984 penny under magnification hoping to find similar doubling, but none match the unique patterns and multiple anomalies found in the $6 million specimen. Every mark on it tells a story. The double ear shows the hubbing mishap, the die cracks reveal mechanical stress, the uneven surfaces show planchet imperfection, and together they form a fingerprint of minting chaos that cannot be duplicated. Over the years, this coin has gained mythical status among collectors, often compared to other legendary error coins like the 1955 double die penny, the 1943 copper cent, and the 1969 double die, but what makes the 1984 version stand out is that it comes from a relatively modern era, showing that even in the age of precision, accidents still happen, and when they do, they can create treasures beyond imagination. The $6 million valuation was not just a random auction result, it was driven by rarity, demand, and the unique appeal of this particular era variety. Serious collectors and investors see it as a tangible piece of history, a symbol of how flaws can transform into fortune. Since its discovery, interest in 1984 cents has surged, with even minor double-ear examples fetching hundreds or thousands of dollars, but the $6 million piece remains unmatched, a solitary masterpiece in a sea of ordinary coins. Every detail of it has been documented, its exact weight, diameter, die markers, and even microscopic texture differences, and these records ensure that its authenticity and uniqueness will never be questioned. Last 1998 1-cent coin, we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that hide unbelievable stories behind their small size, and today's story is one that will leave every coin collector, treasure hunter, and even casual viewer stunned, because we're talking about the 1998 1-cent coin that has made history for being worth up to $5 million due to its incredible errors, mysterious minting mistakes, and the almost magical set of circumstances that turned an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And if you've ever wondered how a simple Lincoln cent from 1998 could become a collector's dream worth more than luxury cars, gold bars, or even an entire house, this is the story you don't want to miss, because behind this small copper-colored coin lies one of the most astonishing tales of minting anomalies, design experiments, and production mishaps in modern coin history, making the 1998 penny one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever discovered in circulation. Now, at first glance, the 1998 Lincoln cent looks just like any other penny, bearing the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but somewhere deep within the minting process, a few extraordinary things happened that changed the course of numismatic history forever, because among the billions of 1998 cents struck across the United States, a handful emerged with extraordinary design errors and die misalignments that experts believe could have only happened under rare, nearly impossible conditions, and one of these specimens turned out to be so unique, so visually striking, and so historically significant that collectors and auction houses now value it at around $5 million. The story begins with the discovery of what collectors now call the 1998 wide AM reverse variety, a coin that features a small but crucial difference on the reverse side between the letters A and M in the word America, which are spaced farther apart than they should be, creating what's known as the wide AM variety, and though this may sound minor, this subtle design mix-up traces its roots to an error at the mint where a proof die meant for collector coins was accidentally used on regular circulation strikes, resulting in a small number of 1998 pennies bearing this incorrect reverse design. But here's where things get even more fascinating. The particular $5 million specimen is not just a wide AM penny, it's a multi-era masterpiece that combines this design variety with several additional minting flaws that make it truly one of a kind. When this coin was examined by professional graders, they found not only the wide AM reverse but also a strong double die obverse, meaning that parts of the design on Lincoln's portrait, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and even the date, 1998, appear slightly doubled, caused by a misalignment during the hubbing process when the working die was struck twice at different angles, creating a shadow-like duplicate image that collectors prize above all other errors. On top of that, microscopic inspection revealed faint die cracks running through Lincoln's bust and extending toward the rim, showing that the die used to strike this coin was already deteriorating, which adds to the uniqueness because die cracks, cuts, and die chips record the literal stress of minting, giving each coin a fingerprint of mechanical imperfection. What makes this coin's value skyrocket into the multi-million-dollar range, however, is the combination of all these factors: the wide AM reverse, the double die obverse, the die cracks, and a rare planchet anomaly that experts believe involved a transitional metal composition or an impurity inclusion, meaning that the coin may not have been struck on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet but rather on an experimental piece or one containing metallurgical irregularities, giving it a distinct sheen and texture unlike any other 1998 cent. Some numismatists even suggest that the planchet used may have been slightly thicker or thinner than the standard tolerance, resulting in a marginally different weight that escaped detection during automated quality checks, which in itself is an incredibly rare occurrence. These multiple layers of error transform the 1998 penny from a simple minting mistake into an artifact of minting history, representing a confluence of accidents that's virtually impossible to replicate. When this specific coin was first discovered in pocket change by a sharp-eyed collector, it went unnoticed at first glance, but under magnification, the doubled letters and unusual spacing on the reverse revealed its extraordinary nature, leading to an authentication process that confirmed it as a one-of-a-kind specimen combining multiple rare features. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluated it and determined that its combination of errors had never before been seen on a 1998 cent, thus establishing it as a unique piece in numismatic history. The coin's fame quickly spread across coin shows, online forums, and numismatic journals, as collectors realized that what seemed like a minor design quirk had transformed into a multi-million-dollar rarity. The historical context of this coin adds even more intrigue because during the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between different engraving and die production techniques, incorporating computerized die-making technologies and testing design changes for the upcoming Lincoln Memorial's replacement that would debut a decade later with the Lincoln Bicentennial Series. So it's entirely possible that experimental dies or transitional planchets were being tested, creating an environment ripe for accidental mix-ups like the one that produced this rare 1998 cent mint record. Suggests that proof dies bearing the wide AM reverse were only supposed to be used for special collector issues struck in San Francisco, yet somehow, one of these dies found its way into a circulation batch at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of regular coins were being struck, and within that batch, the particular die pair responsible for this coin not only had the wrong reverse but also suffered mechanical misalignment, leading to the doubled obverse, an extraordinary combination of human error and mechanical imperfection. It's these accidents layered upon accidents that make this coin worth $5 million today because each mistake amplifies its rarity exponentially. On the surface, one might think that such an error would have been easily caught during the mint's rigorous inspection process, but the truth is that at the high-speed production rates of modern minting, hundreds of coins per second, minor design anomalies often slip through unnoticed, especially when they don't immediately affect the coin's fit within machinery or its usability as currency. This is how treasures like the 1998 Wide AM double-die penny can enter circulation completely undetected. Imagine holding a handful of pennies from your local store and one of them turns out to be worth millions. It sounds like a dream, but for the lucky finder of this coin, that dream became a reality. Collectors often compare this coin's impact to other legendary era coins such as the 1955 double-die penny or the 1992 close AM cent, both of which are famous for similar design mix-ups, but the 1998 version stands apart because it represents a later generation of minting technology where such errors were supposed to be impossible, making its existence almost miraculous. This sense of impossibility fuels its value because collectors aren't just buying a piece of metal, they're buying a story, a mystery, a tangible reminder that even in an age of precision, accidents still create art. Under close examination, this coin's reverse shows the classic wide AM spacing, but experts have also identified subtle doubling on the letters E pluribus unum and the top of the Lincoln Memorial columns, indicating die vibration during the strike, while the obverse reveals slight machine doubling around Lincoln's eye and beard in addition to the true hub doubling, creating a layered visual texture that seems almost alive under magnification. The rim, slightly misaligned, shows a narrow flat spot where the collar may have failed to hold the planchet firmly during striking, adding to the coin's list of physical anomalies. Each of these details tells part of a larger story about how this coin came to be, a sequence of mechanical, procedural, and human errors that together created something so rare that no other example has been documented in precisely the same form. The numismatic community has spent years studying this coin, using high-resolution microscopes and spectral analysis to confirm every aspect of its structure, and each examination only adds to its mystique. It's been featured in collector magazines, showcased at major coin conventions, and even studied by metallurgy experts curious about the subtle variations in its composition. Some even hypothesize that the planchet could have contained traces of residual bronze from pre-1982 compositions, which would explain its distinct hue and sound when dropped compared.